Patrick Maina Wambui is a Kenyan social activist. He joins us via Skype from Nairobi, Kenya. Patrick, first of all, what sort of impact has this attack had on young people like yourself across the country?
For us as young people, this is a big shock to us and raising up a lot of emotions in us, because these are young people like me who woke up and went to school to be able to secure a future for themselves, and not just for themselves, but also to be a part of to play a part in this country. And so for us, it's a big shock, and it's really painful to see young people get to lose their lives in such a senseless way.
Is there a feeling across Kenya now among younger people that you are indeed a target?
Oh yeah, definitely, because we know that young people are the future of our country, and we know that our young people are definitely targets, because if you're able to affect young people, if you're able to get rid of young people, then our country is not strong.
This was the biggest attack since 1998, when the American embassy was bombed in Nairobi. It was also, of course, bigger than the Westgate Mall attack when 60 people were killed. Has the government in Kenya learned any lessons, in your estimation, from the Westgate attack?
Those are the questions that we ask ourselves today, because there was no inquiry, or if there was an inquiry, it was never made public on the lessons that were learned during the Westgate. Because as we can remember very well, the government said eventually that there were 4 terrorists during the Westgate attack that killed 67. As we can see today in Garissa, there were also 4 terrorists who killed 147 young people. And so for us, we ask ourselves, are there any lessons learned? And if these lessons have been learned, we are not seeing the implementations of these lessons learned, because 4 people cannot be able to kill 147 people.
Kenya has one of the strongest economies in all of Africa. How would you describe to Americans who are watching this what it is about the Al-Shabab and what they're trying to do?
Obviously, they have always said that they are attacking Kenya because Kenya went into Somalia to be able to attack them. But we must also look at where all this started. Kenya went into Somalia because the Al-Shabab would come into our country, and they would be able to kidnap tourists, and they would be able to take tourists into their country, into Somalia, and be able to demand for ransom. Obviously, this was not good for our economy, because Kenya is a country that is also very dependent on tourism. And so it's really affected our economy, because we can see that there are travel advisories being issued by countries countries like the UK and Australia. We're seeing all these travel advisories, which are obviously hurting our country, because, like I said, our country is an economy that is really dependent on tourism.
And finally, has President Kenyatta pledged to do anything more to try to improve security?
One of the measures that the president said when he talked today, he talked about recruiting more police into the police force. And he actually gave a direct command to the police inspector general to see the 10,000 policemen report for training tomorrow. And so that's a step that they've taken. But then as Kenyans, we're also saying that is a good step to take. But the problem is sometimes we cannot address the issue of getting more policemen, but then also the issue of how these policemen are trained. Because I'm saying, how can a security agency a whole country be held hostage by 4 people, and they end up killing 147? So it's not just about recruiting the policemen. We also need to look at how these policemen are trained with regards to matters terrorism.